أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله wabarakatuh. Welcome to LQ Milton class number 6. The agenda for the class was shared yesterday. We're going to recap what we learned in class number 5. Very important topic. Very important topic. I cannot stress enough that we need to memorize the damair al-munfasil, the detached pronouns. Why? Because we're going to start the verbs soon, and for us to understand the verbs completely, we need to have a good understanding of these damairs or pronouns. In the last class, we discussed that the damair al-munfasil or the detached pronouns are third person, second person, and first person, right? And then there are 14 of them. One of the special pronoun that we learned in the last class was that the pronoun for two or dual in Arabic language is a special pronoun which is not in an English language. We'll begin our class with a drill, okay, and then we'll play a small game so that we have a good understanding what these damairs or detached pronouns stand for. Okay, so let's do the drill first, and I hope that over the period of last week or so you probably would be practicing it. If you were not, don't worry about it, because I'll make sure in the next few classes we'll do those drills. Okay, so don't worry about it if you didn't practice it. Okay, let's begin with masculine third person. Huwa, huma, hum, and when I'm repeating it, repeat after me. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. Repeat it so many times today and tomorrow so that you memorize them. Now, we're not going to in detail, but let's play a small game. And I want you all to focus your ears on me, but your mind and your eyes on your computer screen or the slide that we had shared. And when I ask you, if I'm addressing somebody or something or some people or person, which pronoun you would use. Okay, so focus your ears on me, but your eyes and your mind on the screen. If I have to address a masculine person who is a second person, which pronoun I would use? Masculine, second person, singular. Which pronoun? Anta. Anta, you, singular. If I have to address feminine gender, females, dual, two of them, second person, which pronoun I would use? Think about it. Antuma, second person. But if I change my address, two females, I'm talking about two females, but they are third person, then which one would I use? Not the second person, third person. Huma, third person. Okay, we're playing a small little game. What if I'm talking about my friend, what was his name? Hamid. We're talking about Hamid. Okay, he's a masculine, third person, singular. Which pronoun I would use? Huwa, the first one. If I'm talking about myself, which one would I use? First person, singular. Right? So listen to what I'm saying and try to identify. You may get it right, you may not get it right. If you don't get it right, don't worry about it. But think about it, play this game to yourself at home, create a scenario, and then try to identify which pronoun I would use for which person, whether it's a third person, second person, or a first person. If I am addressing, or if I am talking about all of us, which pronoun I would use? Nahnu. Now here's a curveball. If two females or two males talking about themselves, right, first person, themselves, which pronoun would they use? Nahnu, right? So the first person is either ana or nahnu. There is no dual concept in the first person. I just throw a curveball because these are the things we sometimes miss, because we're always thinking that there is a dual concept in the pronouns, but when it comes to the first person, it's either ana or nahnu, and ana and nahnu is used for both masculine and feminine gender, whereas for second person and for third person we distinguish between masculine and feminine gender. So that is very important. So let's do the drill one more time, inshallah. Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. Okay, so the reason we did this drill, this practice or small game, is how we would understand these damirs. Just a little bit flavor. At home, do this drill, memorize these 14 pronouns, and then the verbs will start very soon. Memorization of these damirs, damir al-munfasil, which is the detached pronouns, will help us understand the verbs completely. And there are some verbs used in lesson number 4. Dr. Saab introduced two verbs, I think, kharaja and zahaba. So, little bit. So that is part number A of our agenda. Part number B. Last class I said that nouns in Arabic language are either singular or dual, two, or plural, more than two. The second thing I said about the nouns in Arabic language is that nouns in Arabic can be masculine gender or can be feminine gender. Correct? Now, in lesson number 3, we came across two nouns, khafifun and saqilun. Remember, al-waraqu khafifun, the page is light in weight. Remember khafifun? Saqilun, al-hajaru, the stone is heavy. Those were the two nouns that we came across in lesson number 3. So khafifun is singular and saqilun is singular, and if they are singular, can I make a dual and then the plural from these two nouns? Yes, I can, because in Arabic language nouns can be singular, dual or plural. When I say dual, you means two. So if I am talking about one page, then I am using khafifun. But if I am talking about 2 pages, then I would not use khafifun. Then I would use khafifani, which is a dual. So this is just an introduction of the duals. There is an entire lesson dedicated for duals in book number 1. But I thought that since we are going to do this hadith today, and we already know khafifun and saqilun, it's better to it is better to introduce the topic of duals, right? The duals. So khafifun, khafifani for 2. Similarly, saqilun, saqilani, right? Khafifun light in weight, saqilun heavy. Another verb, habibun. What is habibun? Something which is dear to us. We love it, something. It is closer to us. Habibun, right? Now, habibun is singular and it is masculine. Can I make a dual out of it? Habibani. Now, watch for the pattern. Watch for the pattern for the nouns. Khafifun, khafifani, saqilun, saqilani, habibun, habibani. There is a pattern there. Okay, there is a pattern there. So memorize this pattern. So whenever you come across a noun which is singular and you want to make a dual out of it, use the same pattern and make a dual out of it. I'm not going into too much detail because there is an entire lesson talks about the patterns and how the duals are formed. And now one thing, is khafifun marfu? Is it marfu? Saqilun marfu? Habibun marfu? Right? And then we said the nouns are marfu. Is khafifani marfu? Yes, it is marfu. It is marfu. Saqilani, is it marfu? Yes, it is marfu. Habibani, is it marfu? Yes, it is marfu. Now there is a sign of marfu there, which is the alif, but all these things small we will cover in the lesson which is dedicated for the duals. All I'm saying is that khafifani, saqilani and habibani are dual and they are marfu. There is a pattern to it, and then there is a sign that is attached, which is the alif in the duals, which is marfu. We're not going to the plural right now. We're not. Now, in the last class, we went through Asma'ul Mu'annas. We went through some of these Asma'ul Mu'annas, the feminine names. Fatimatu, right? Sa'iyatu. They all ended with a tu, a gold ta or the round ta, which is what we called a ta marbuta. Now 99.9% 99.9% of the nouns in Arabic language ending with ta marbuta, the round ta or the goal ta, whatever you want to call it. That's not important. If you remember ta marbuta, fine. If you don't remember it, don't worry about it. 99% of the nouns ending with ta marbuta are feminine in nature. Are feminine in nature. That's one thing to remember. Second thing, if I have a noun, khafifun for example, which is masculine, singular, and if I want to use this noun for a female or for a feminine gender, I can easily make this masculine noun to a feminine noun. How do I do that? Just add the ta marbuta at the end, the round ta or the goal ta. Just add in the end. Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time when you add the ta marbuta at the end of the the masculine noun, it will change into a feminine. Most of the time, not all the time. Okay, but since we are starting, this is a good rule to remember. So if I say khafifun, al waraku khafifun, the page is light in weight, al hajaru saqilun, the stone is heavy. But if I am talking about a noun which is not a masculine, which is a feminine, then I would change khafifun into khafifatun. Khafifatun. Saqilun will change into saqilatun. What am I doing here? All I am doing is taking the masculine noun, adding a ta marbuta in the end. Adding the ta marbuta in the end. Khafifun, khafifatun, saqilun, saqilatun, habibun, habibatun, into a masculine. I change the masculine noun into a feminine noun. Listen, if you remember these concepts at this time, fine. If you don't, we'll keep repeating them, this entire lesson to it. But it is important for us to have some knowledge about it, because we're going to do a hadith today. Khafifatun. Now, khafifatun is a feminine noun, singular. Can I make a dual from khafifatun? Yes, same pattern. Khafifatun, khafifatani, saqilatun, saqilatani, habibatun, habibatani. Dual. I make dual out of it. We are not going into the plurals right now. We are only doing the singular and duals at this time. Khafifatun, khafifatani, saqilatun, saqilatani. Ani, you know, ani, you just add alif and the noon. Habibatun, habibatani. So that's how the nouns will behave, from a masculine singular into a dual, from masculine into a feminine, by adding a ta marbuta at the end, most of the time, not all the time, and then making a dual from a singular. Ani, ani, saqilun, saqilani, saqilatun, saqilatani. So this is a pattern for duals. Let's review a beautiful hadith from Prophet Muhammad Khatamun Nabiyyin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated by Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala an. He said, qala, a verb, he said, qala Rasulullahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, kalimatani. What is kalimatani? What it reminds you of? Dual. Kalimatun, kalimatani. Two, dual. Kalimatani. two sentences or two phrases. Kalimatani khafifatani, both of them are light in weight. Khafifatani. Alal lisani, what is ala? Harf jar. What follows harf jar? Ism majroor, right? Harf jar, ism majroor. Close your eyes. Always harf jar will be followed by a noun which will be majroor. See, that's what I said. I'll keep repeating these things. So don't worry about it if you don't get it the first time. We'll have ample opportunity. Two kalimas, kalimatani. Kalimatun would be one. Two kalimatani, khafifatani, are light in weight. Alal lisani. Al lisani means on the tongue. Are light in weight on the tongue. Two of them. Saqilatani. What is saqilatani? Both of them are heavy. Heavy. Saqilatani. Fil mizani. What is fi? Harf jar. What is al mizani? Ism majroor, right? Two kalimas, they are light on the tongue. Saqilatani, heavy. Fil mizani, on the scale, in the scale, fi. Habibatani, habibun, habibatun, habibatani, both of them are very dear or loved or closer, whatever you want to call it. Habibatani ila rahmani. What is ila? Harf jar. What is ar-rahmani? Ism majroor. It's a beautiful hadith and very easy to remember. Are very close, dear and loved to the Rahman. What are those? Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallahil azim. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallahil azim. So if you memorize these two kalimas, rest assured that they are very light on the tongue, but they are very heavy on the scale, and they are both of them, and I say both of them are dear or loved or closer to the Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Beautiful hadith. Memorize it, understand it, analyze it, and put it into practice if you can. Now, something about Subhana. It's a very powerful word, and most of the time people use Subhana very casually. Subhanallah. They just say it and they just move on. But the day will come when we will understand Subhana, and your entire perspective about Subhana will change. We have a student here sitting who commented to me that once we explained the Subhana, and this student is sitting here, his entire salah changed. Just understanding Subhana, the concentration and the entire salah changed because it is such a powerful word. I wanted to explain it, but we'll keep it silent for now, because there will be a day when we will understand Subhana. So for now, Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallahil azim. We'll just memorize it. So this is the concept about the duals, singulars, and how do we use the duals in the Arabic language. The third part of our agenda was to finish the exercises of lesson number 4. Exercises of lesson number 4. Very easy exercises. but I'm going to throw a lot of curveballs. Why do I do that? It's just for us to do a reverse engineering. You know, when everything is going smooth, you do a reverse engineering scenario, and then when you do that, a curveball, the concepts are more ingrained in our mind, in our brain. So we'll play a small game while we are going through the exercises. So let's go on page number 21. Okay, page number 21. Ad-Darsu Rabi'u, the fourth lesson. Very quickly, because the next exercise, we have to answer them what is in the lesson, in the text. Aina Muhammadun, where is Muhammad? Huwa fil ghurfati. Why huwa? Because Muhammad is masculine, third person and singular. That's why we use huwa. Huwa fil ghurfati, he is in the room. Wa aina Yasirun, and where is Yasir? Huwa fil hammami. Wa aina Aminatu. Now I don't use huwa here because I'm talking about the feminine gender here, so I used hiya. Hiya fil matbahi, she is in the kitchen. Wa aina al kitabu, where is the book? Huwa alal maktabi, it is on the desk. Wa aina sa'atu, and where is the watch? Now sa'atu, it ends with what? Ta marbuta. So huwa or hiya. Hiya ala sariri, it is on the bed. Now the exercises, we have to answer what is in the text. Aina al kitabu, where is the book? Huwa alal maktabi. So write that down. Write that down. It will only make you strong. Huwa alal maktabi, it is on the desk. Aina Muhammadun, where is Muhammad? Huwa fil ghurfati. Huwa fil ghurfati. What if huwa fil ghurfati, is it jumla ismiya? Yes. Where is mubtada? Huwa. Where is khabar? Fi harf jar, al ghurfati is a majroor, jarun wa majroor. Shibu jumla khabar. Shibu jumla khabar. Phrase coming as a predicate. What if I take huwa out from here? Now this is the curveball. This is reverse engineering scenario here. Let's take huwa out. Let's imagine huwa is not there. What remains? Fil ghurfati. So I don't say it khabar anymore because it is not a predicate anymore, because subject is gone. It's not a jumla ismiya anymore. So it is just shibu jumla. Jarun wa majrurun, shibu jumla. What if I take fi out? Imagine, let's take fi out from here too. Okay? Reverse engineering. What will remain? Al ghurfati? No. Al ghurfati will change into al ghurfa tu, because al ghurfa tu was majroor because of fi. Once I take fi out, the agent is gone. The agent of change. Remember we said agent of change? Prepositions, harf jar are agent of change. In order for them to show association with the nouns, they'll make a change in the noun, but that agent, the agent of change is gone now. So al ghurfati will be al ghurfatu. Just a definite noun. Just a definite noun. Another scenario. Let's take al out from here. Imagine there is no huwa, there is no fi, and there is no al. What is left? Ghurfatu? No. Ghurfatun. Because it is not definite anymore. It is indefinite. And indefinite ends with a tanween. So do a reverse engineering scenario on some of these answers or some of these sentences. That way the concept that we are learning will be stronger. What is the next one? Aina sa'atu, where is the watch? Where is the watch? Sa'atu hiya ala sariri, right? It is on the bed. Aina Yasirun, Huwa fil hammami. Huwa fil hammami. He is in the shower room. Aina Aminatu. Hiya fil matbakhi. She is in the kitchen. Now comes our favorite, Hamzatu Istifham. Remember Hamzatu Istifham? He always comes in the beginning of the sentence. Always, always, always comes in the beginning of the sentence. What is the sentence here? Aminatu fil ghurfati. Is Amina in the room? It's a question. Is Amina in the room? Is she in the room? No, she is in matbakhi. She is in the kitchen. So you say, you bring in the harful jawab. First you say la. Remember harful jawab? Naam means yes, la means no. You say la, no. Hiya fil matbakhi. She is in the kitchen. Now, Hamzatu Istifham. What was the sentence? What was the question? Aminatu fil ghurfati. Take the Hamzatu Istifham out. Imagine it's not there. What remains? Amina tu fil ghurfati. Amina is in the room. So immediately you take the Hamzatu Istifham out. It is not a question anymore. So what is the function of Hamzatu Istifham then? When Hamzatu Istifham attaches itself to Jumla Ismiya, it will convert the Jumla Ismiya into a question. That is what we learned. That is what we learned. So this is repetition of what we learned. Bring Hamzatu Istifham back, immediately the nominal sentence or the Jumla Ismiya will convert into a question. Aminatu fil ghurfati. La hiya fil matbakhi. Next one. Yasirun fil matbakhi. Is Yasir in the kitchen? La. Huwa fil hammami. No, he is in the shower room. Now, if I change, I'm doing some curveballs here. If I change fil matbakhi into fil hammami, Yasirun fil hammami, then should I use la or should I use naam? Naam, because he is actually in the shower room. So you say naam, huwa fil hammami. Yes, he is in the shower room. Next one. Write it down. Write it down. Man fil ghurfati. What is man? Remember? It's a noun. Demonstrative. Man who? Interrogative noun. Man who? Fil ghurfati. Who is in the room? Who is in the room? Muhammad. Muhammadun fil ghurfati. Muhammad is in the room. Muhammad is in the room. Waman fil hammami, and who is in the shower room? Yasirun fil hammami. Yasir is in the shower room. Maza alal maktabi. What is on the desk? Maza. We will learn maza later on. But maza mean what is. What is on the desk? What is on the desk? Al-Kitab. Al-Kitabu alal maktabi. The book is on the desk. Maza ala sariri. What is on the bed? As-sa'atu. The watch. Ala sariri. The watch on the bed. Now, if you have time, also write down or try to translate these very simple sentences on your own and write down the English translation there for each sentence, for each question and for each answer, so that they will make us stronger. Next one. Ikra waktub. Read and write ma'a dabti awakhir al kalimati, by using a suitable ending at the end. Okay. Al madrasa 2. Why 2? Because it is a definite noun. Take al out from here. Madrasatun, now it is indefinite. Bring al back. Al madrasatu, definite. Fil madrasa tu ta or ti. Ti harf jar is a majroor. Take fi out from here. What remains? Al madrasatu. Take al out. Madrasatun. Fil baiti, in the house. Al baitu. Al ghurfa tu. Al hamma mu. Single dhamma. Why? Because al is there. The particle al is there. Fil matbakhi. Al maktabu. Alal maktabi. Alal kursi. What is alal kursi? On the chair. Ala, fi, min, ila. These 4 harf jar, very important, widely used in Quran. So memorize the meaning. Fi means in, ala means on, ila means to or towards, min means from. They are very widely used, at least these 4 of them, but we did about 7 or 8 of them when we did the harf jar. Hatta, we did that too, but then those 4 are very important, are widely used. As-sariru. Alal kitabu or bi, kitabi. Fil masjidi. So there are no Arabs there. Put the Arabs there. Put the Arabs there so that we know where we use the Dhamma in the ending, where we use the Kasra in the ending. Think about it. Why am I putting a Kasra there? Because there is harf jar. So that way, why I am not putting a Tanween there? Why I am putting a single Dhamma? Why should I put a Tanween? Why should I not put a Tanween or a single Dhamma? So that way these concepts, that is the reason why these exercises are very important. The next exercise is Ikra Waktub, read and write. Again, there are no Arabs there, and I think Dr. Saab did not put these Arabs because he wanted us to understand these concepts that we have been learning by putting the Arabs ourselves. And it's another exercise that we can do whenever we are doing these. Put the Arabs there. Think about it. What should I do? At-talibu, the student. Fil jamiati. Jamiati means university. Is in the university. Where is the mubtada? At-talibu. Where is the khabar? Fil jamiati. In the university. Jarun wa majrurun. Shibu jumla khabar. Shibu jumla khabar. Predicate. Take a talibu out. It is only jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla. No more khabar, because the subject is gone, the mubtada is gone. Next one, ar-rajulu fil masjidi. What is ar-rajulu? The man. The man is in the masjid. Aina tajiru. Aina tajiru. Where is the merchant? Should I use huwa or hiya? We are talking about the masculine. Huwa fid dukkani. He is in the shop. What does that tell me? Huwa, he is a third person, not present, and we are giving an information about this tajir, this merchant, that he is in the shop. Is huwa marfu? Is huwa definite? Yes. Is huwa mabni? Yes. Mim mim mim. Remember? Mim 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 rule? For all the damairs, they are all marfu, they are all mabni, and they are all marifa definite. Al-qalamu al-maktabi. The pen is on the desk. Aina Zainabu? Where is Zainab? Hiya fil ghurfati. She is in the room. Right? She is in the room. Hiya. Aina al-waraqu? Where is the page? Huwa alal maktabi. It is on the desk. Number 7. Aina al-mudarrisu? Where is the teacher? Huwa fil fasli. Huwa fil fasli. He is in the class. What if I am talking about the female teacher? Right, but what if I want to ask Aina al-mudarrisa tun? I can change mudarrisun into a female teacher by using ata marbuta. So I can say Aina al-mudarrisatun. If I am asking about the feminine gender, I can say Aina al-mudarrisatun, mudarrisatu. Then the answer is hiya. Hiya fil fasli. She is in the class. Tabibun. What is tabibun means? Doctor. But if I am talking about a female doctor, what would I say? Tabibatun, mudarrisun, mudarrisatun, at-tabibu, the doctor, at-tabiba tu, al-mudarrisu, the teacher, al-mudarrisa tu. So we will keep thinking about these small little things and create scenarios for us so that we get a good grasp of the concept. Aina Yasirun? Where is Yasir? Huwa fil mirhadi. He is in the toilet. Ash-shamsu, the sun. Wa, what is wa? Harf atf. Harf atf, particle of conjunction. What is the function of particle of conjunction? It joins either the two sentences or either the two words. Could be noun. Here there are two nouns. Ash-shamsu wal qamaru, and the moon. Fis samai. What is fi? Harf jar. What is as-samai? Now let's analyze this sentence. Is this a jumla ismiya, nominal sentence? Yes, it begins with a noun. Is that noun definite? Yes. Is this noun marfu? Yes. So a proper mubtada is ash-shamsu. Then come wa, harf ataf, and al-qamaru. Now what is the function of particle of conjunction? Harf ataf. It joins the two words. It can join the two words. So here ash-shamsu wal qamaru and the moon. Al-qamar goes back to shams. So ash-shamsu is a mubtada, waw is harf ataf, and al-qamaru, what we call it, ma'tufun ala, or it goes back to, don't worry about this terminology. If you don't recall it, we'll keep using it. Ma'tufun ala ash-shamsu, which means both of them are ash-shamsu and al-qamaru. It goes back to shamsu. Ash-shamsu is mubtada, so qamar is also part of mubtada. Ash-shamsu wal qamaru fis samai, in the sun, in the sky, So fi harf jar, as-samai ism majrur, jarun wa majrurun, shubu jumla khabar. Man fil fasli, who is in the class, who is in the class. The next one is, we already did that, but let's quickly go over it. Muhammadun, Khalidun, Hamidun, Yasirun, Ammarun, Saeedun, Aliyun, Abbasun, they all end with a tanween sound, dun, proper dun sound. But the feminine names, Aminatu, Zainabu, Fatimatu, Maryamu, Aishatu, Khatijatu, Safiyatu, Ruqayyatu, they're all diptote. What is diptote? Al-mamnu min as-sarf, forbidden to decline. We learned this concept in the last class, right? We learned. And what is a sign there? A sign is they will end with a single dhamma. So in the mansoob form, Aminatu will become Aminata. In the majroor form, it will remain Aminata. The context of the sentence will tell me that whether this Aminata used here is either a mansoob or a majroor, because we will find out what role that noun is playing in the sentence. And we have come across some examples. What else about the diptotes? What else we learned? We learned the language adopted certain foreign words, foreign nouns, and when those nouns were adopted by the language, in order for those nouns to keep their identity intact, that they are not part of the original language but they were adopted, those foreign names will remain as diptote or al-mamnu min as-sarf. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima. So this is one way of remembering it, ala Ibrahima. Now Ibrahima here has a fatha in the end. Is it mansoob or is it majroor? It is majroor, because the role Ibrahima is playing here is ism majroor, because it is followed by harf jar, ala. So even though my eyes cannot see a kasra sign there, but my mind knows that Ibrahima is majroor. And why Ibrahima? Because it is a diptote. It is a diptote. Al-mamnu min as-sarf, forbidden to decline. Ikra waktub, read and write. Ma'adabti awakhiril kalimati, using the proper ending signs. Oh, this is very beautiful exercise. Hami dun, Zaina bu, single dhamma. Amina tu, Amma run, Sa'i dun, Fatima tu, Maria mu, Ali yun, Khalidun, Abbasun, Aishatu, Muhammadun, Safiyatu and Khatijatu. Put the Arabs there. Put the Arabs on your book. So that way this concept of diptote is stronger in our mind. Moving on, section B. All yeah. Section B. Al-Baitu min al-Baiti. We know what is going on here. We don't need to understand it. Al-Baitu is definite noun. Al-Masjidu ilal masjidi. Al-Mudarrisu. Now there is a small conversation going on. read the sentence, translate it, write the English translation on your book and put the Arabs. The more effort we put in this course, the more concepts will be stronger and the more we will understand the Quran, inshallah. Al-Mudarris said, Min aina anta? From where are you? From where are you? Min, from, aina, where, anta, anta. So Mudarris, the teacher, is addressing a masculine person who is a second person in front of him, and he is masculine and singular. Min aina anta? Where are you from? What is the answer? Muhammad said, Ana, I am Minal Yabani, from Japan. Yabani means Japan. I am. What is min? Harf jar. Al Yabani is a majroor. I am from Japan. Now, is ana marfu? Yes. Is ana definite? Yes. Is ana mabni? Yes. Ana will not. What is mabni means? It will not change. Ana will remain ana. Always remain ana. So if ana is marfu and it is marifa, does that qualify to be a subject mubtada? Yes. Is the jumla ismiya? Yes. Where is mubtada? Ana. Minal yabani jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla khabar. Next one. Al mudarrisu wa min aina ammarun? And where is Ammar from? Muhammad said, now Ammar is not present here, and teacher is asking about Ammar, and where is Ammar from? Muhammad giving the answer again, because Ammar is not present, in a third person, using a third person pronoun, huwa minasini. He is from China. Write down the translation, put the Arabs. Huwa minasini, he is from China. Al-Mudarris said, wa min aina Hamidun? And where is Hamid from? Muhammad said, huwa minal Hindi, he is from India. Al-Mudarris said, aina Abbasun? Where is Abbas? Where is Abbas? Where is Abbas? Muhammad said, kharaja. Welcome to the verbs. Welcome to the verbs. Kharaja. Kharaja means he left. He left. Now, whenever there is an action, there is a doer of the action. An action cannot happen without somebody performing it. What did I say? Kharaja? He left. In the past tense. This is the base form of the verb. Kharaja. Where is the file? Because remember when I said whenever there is a verb, we need to find a doer of the action, which is the file. Now in this case, kharaja, the file is huwa. The file is huwa. The file is hiding inside the verb. So automatically when I say kharaja, zahaba, shakara, different verbs, the first form of the basic form of the verb will have a file huwa. So we call it file mustatir. The doer of the action is hidden. Taqdiruhu huwa. Estimation of it is he, huwa. If you don't recall this terminology, don't worry about it. We would be doing the verbs in very greater detail. The file is present. The file is hiding inside the verb, and estimation of it is huwa. He left. Al-Mudarris said, Aina Zahaba? Where did he went? Muhammad said, Zahaba ilal mudiri. Zahaba ilal mudiri. He went to the principal. Zahaba ilal mudiri. Is it a jumla ismiya or is it a jumla failure? It begins with a verb. It begins with a verb. So it is a jumla failure. It is no longer a jumla ismiya here. Zahaba. Where is the file? Again I said, Zahaba. The file is hiding inside the verb. My eyes cannot see it, but my mind knows that the file begins with huwa. All the files begin with the past tense, and with the huwa, estimation of it is he. Mudiri. Jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla. Now don't say khabar here, because it's not a khabar anymore. It is a jumla failure. In jumla failure there is no khabar, because there is no mubtada. Zahaba ilal mudiri. He went to the principal. That's it. He went to the principal. Wa aina zahaba aliyun? And where did Ali go? Muhammad said, Zahaba ilal mirhadi. He went to the toilet. Now, again this is a jumla failure. We are not looking for mubtada khabar anymore. We are looking for fail and file, the action and the doer of the action. Where is the action? Where is the action? He went. Where is the file? He. Huwa. Ila mirhadi. To the toilet. Next, Ajib anil as'ilatil atiyati. We'll quickly go over it. Min aina anta? Where are you from? You can say anything. But since you're saying I am, which pronoun would you use? Ana. I am Minal Yabani, from Japan. Anything. Are you from the Philippines? And if you say no, La, Ana Minal Yabani, I am from Japan. Or Ana Minal Hindi, or Ana Minal Sini. You can say Canada too. You can say Canada too. For sure, why not? Man Minas Sini. Who is from China? Ammarun Minasini. Ammarun Minasini. Ammar is from China. Min aina Hamidun? Where is Hamid from? Huwa from Milton. Huwa Minal Milton. He is from Milton. Aina Zahaba Abbasun? Where did Abbas go? Zahaba ilal mudiri. He went to the principal. Azahaba aliyun ilal mudiri. Now again Hamzatul Istifham came. And what is the quality of Hamzatul Istifham? Whenever it comes in the beginning of the sentence, it will change the sentence into a question. So when I say, if I just ignore Hamzatul Istifham, I say Zahaba Aliyun ilal mudiri, that is a sentence, a jumla failure, which means Ali went to the principal. But the minute I bring in Hamzatul Istifham in front of the jumla failure, this sentence will convert into a question. Now we are saying, did Ali go to the principal? The answer is La. No. Where did he go? Zahaba ilal mirhadi. He went to the toilet. Ikra waktub. Again, using the proper ending at the end. Al ghurfatu min al ghurfati min al hammami al mirhadu ila al mirhadi al yabanu. Al yabanu. Yabanu is a foreign word. Al yabanu, Japan, is a foreign word. It's a diptote. Asinu, China, is a foreign word. It's a diptote. Filipino, Philippines, is a diptote, foreign name. Al Filipino, Al Filipina, Al Filipina. Al Hindu, India, diptote, foreign name. Al Hindu, Al Hinda, and Al Hinda. Al Mamnu min as-sarf, forbidden to decline. Min al Hindi and ilas Sini. Ikra baktub, read and write. Min aina Fatimatu. Where is Fatima? Hiya min al Hindi. She is from India. Kharaja al mudarrisu min al fasli wa zahaba ilal mudiri. The teacher exit from the class and went to the principal. Zahabat tajiru ila dukkani. The merchant went to the shop. Kharaja Hamidun min al ghurfati wa zahaba ila al hammami. Hamid went from the room and Hamid exit from the room, left from the room and went to the shower room. Man kharaja min al fasli. Who exit from the class? Kharaja talibu min al madrasati wa zahaba ila suki. The student went exit from the school and went to the market. We'll redo these exercises, the last 2 or 3 exercises, in the next class again. Khatijatu min as-Sini. Khatija is from China. Wa Khalidun min al-Yabani. And Khalid is from Japan. Da. Put fil faragh fima yali harf jarrin munasibin, using a suitable harf jar. Al kitabu al maktabi. Al kitabu al maktabi. The book is on the desk. At talibu fil fasli. The student is in the class. Zahaba Hamidun ilal jamiati. Kharaj al mudiru min al madrasati. Zahaba Muhammadun min as Sini ilal Yabani. Muhammad went from China to Japan. Al kalimatul jadidatu, the new words. Al madrasatu, school. Al faslu, classroom. Al hammamu, shower room. Al mirhadu, toilet. Al matbahu, kitchen. Al ghurfatu, room. Al jamiatu, university. As suqu, market. Al yabanu, Japan. As sinu, China. Al Hindu, India. Al Filipino, Philippines. Al mudiru, headmaster or principal. Zahaba, he went. Kharaja, he left. And in the end, the 4 harf jar we talked about, very important: fi, ala, min and ila. With that, we finish our lesson number 4. The last exercises went through rather quickly. because of some of the time constraints. I feel in the next class we will repeat these exercises, the last 3 or 4 exercises again, so that we do justice to these exercises, inshallah. With that, we'll finish our class. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.